What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So I have a little bit of Diablo 4 news that I want to go over because some crazy dumb decisions have been made, and I just can't understand why this keeps happening. So let's get right into it. First off, we have Twilight Warding has been disabled. Yeah. So you might not understand what that means. This is the second time that they have had to disable Twilight Warding. Why wasn't this fixed when you disabled it the first time? Now, if it was something completely different, it would at least make sense, but it isn't. It is literally being fixed for the exact same reason as last time, which is it is too effing strong and people are bitching and complaining about it. Why? I have no clue, because I would definitely enjoy the fact that I could be powerful in this game, but it just seems like Blizzard is hell-bent on not letting me do that. Why? I have no effing clue. No effing clue. And get it fixed. Get it fixed. But you know what? If I had to guess, I would say that I'm probably about to be sitting right here again in about a week when they disable Twilight Warning for a third time. Blizzard just keeps on taking L's, man. They just keep on taking L's. Would you like to hear about another L? Because we have even more news, and here this one goes. So I guess the NVIDIA graphics drivers are literally causing Diablo 4 to crash. A lot of people are having this issue. I guess you could say, yeah, it's all right. You know, maybe it's not Blizzard's fault. Maybe it's NVIDIA, because we were just having this issue where NVIDIA put out a driver that basically broke Windows. I have no clue how this happens, but it did. So, okay, to be fair, maybe it isn't Blizzard's fault, and it is actually 100% NVIDIA's fault. But let me ask you a question. Can you guess where they released this news at? If you guessed the forums, you're 150% correct. Yeah, they did it again. So here goes Blizzard releasing news into the forums instead of, I don't know, maybe putting it on the Battle.net launcher where this kind of stuff belongs. No, instead you're gonna try to drive traffic into your toxic ass forum, which I talked about in a previous video. You know what? I was about to say, hey, go ahead and go over there and read the stuff these people are posting, just so you could understand where I'm coming from when I say that this is a toxic ass forum. But it is so bad. It is so effing bad that in good conscience, I cannot ask anybody to actually go over into those forums to see how freaking juvenile that crap is. Now, if you still want to do it anyways, or if that's just your cup of tea, hey, I know a lot of people like lolcows and shit like that. Maybe you will enjoy it there. But for sane, rational human beings on this earth, the last thing we want to do is subject ourselves to even more torture, which I know could be a little weird coming from someone making videos on YouTube, considering the fact that I'm kind of just opening myself up for that, I suppose. But for real, I'm not going to your forums, Blizzard. Don't stop trying to get me to do it. I'm not going to do it. F that. No, thank you. Now, I wish that could say that was all for what happened, because at least there it's like a Blizzard L and then a Blizzard kind of little L, I suppose, because it could, in theory, be NVIDIA's fault about the whole driver situation. But then we come to the story that I really wanted to talk about, and the whole reason I'm really making this video is because they just announced that their next expansion will not be released until 2026. Probably sometime in April or May of 2026. Bro, do you really think people are still gonna be playing this game by then, Blizzard? Do you really think that people will still be playing this game by then, Blizzard? I don't know how else to say that. You know, the other day I was scrolling through YouTube and I watch Riker. I'm sure a lot of people watch him, right? Llama, all the regular Diablo YouTubers and all that. And I see this Riker poll, and it says, hey, are you enjoying the season? And it had like 4 different things that you could say. You could be like, oh, I'm enjoying it, or I played for a little bit, or, whatever. One of the answers was, I haven't even touched Diablo 4 for season 7 whatsoever. And guess which one won by a substantial margin? That one did. The one that says I haven't even touched D4 is the freaking option. It had like 63% of the vote when I looked at it. That is a lot, isn't it? Am I going nuts, or is that a lot? Because I feel like that is a metric fuck ton of people that are not even playing the game right now. And you expect those same people to come back in, what is that, almost a year and a half now for your expansion? And the reason I'm irritated with this is, I know this is going to be a hot take, but hell, sometimes everything I say is a fucking hot take, so fuck it. So, I actually like the lore of Diablo. I very much enjoy the lore of these video games. And I know most ARPG players don't really give a fuck about lore. And to be fair, I care about it, right? Like maybe the first playthrough, but then after that, it's just ARPG and I just happen to be having fun of the game. I bring this up because there is something that I have been worried about when it comes to D4 ever since the day it came out. And that worry that I had was, is Diablo 4 just gonna end up being Diablo 3 with a new coat of paint? And at first I didn't think it would, but it's starting to look like I was wrong. And I'm gonna make a prediction right now, and I hope that this prediction does not come true, but I have a feeling, man, that this is exactly what is about to happen with D4. So originally, Diablo 3 was gonna get a second expansion after Reaper of Souls. But the game took so much of a freaking downturn that they ended up just canceling it and just saying, fuck it. We're not gonna do that because it's not worth the money, it's not worth our time, it's not worth the investment. So we never got a continuation of the story from Diablo 3. One thing that I'm pretty sure anybody who likes the lore of Diablo noticed when they started playing Diablo 4 is pretty much only Lorath was in Diablo 4. What the fuck happened to Tyrael? I want to know what happened to Tyrael. And I was sitting there waiting throughout the entire campaign of Diablo 4 thinking, hey, we're going to get Tyrael back at some point. This is going to be badass. All right, just hold out a little bit longer, right? Just hold out a little bit longer, so on and so forth. And then what happened? We never fucking got Tyrael. Period. We never got him. And then they come out with this expansion. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe now we're going to actually be able to see what the fuck happened to Tyrael and what's going on with like the other parts of Sanctuary that we can't actually go and visit. So I'm playing through that and I'm thinking, okay, dude, like there's no way, right, that they're going to fuck us over again and hold Tyrael off till later. And sure as shit, it ends in a fucking cliffhanger. In a cliffhanger. And at the time, I'll be 100% with you guys. I was one of those people that was like, you know what? This is pretty good. I don't have a problem that it's a cliffhanger. And I'll tell you why I didn't have a problem with it. Because there is such thing as subverting expectations, correct? Yes, I know. I'm bringing up a stupid, like, movie argument to talk about how I feel about the plot. But since I'm talking about the plot, I feel like it holds relevance in this conversation. So sometimes subverting expectations can be good. And in this case, I actually liked the way that they did it. Because what they did was, it's Vessel of Hatred. Is what they were saying that this whole expansion is about. And you're just thinking that, okay, well, Nyrel is the Vessel of Hatred. So obviously, right, that is what this is all about. Nyrel is going to be the Vessel of Hatred. And then by the end, spoilers, by the end of the campaign in the expansion, we find out that Vessel of Hatred was never actually referring to Nyrel. Vessel of Hatred was only ever referring to Akarat. because he is now the literal vessel of hatred. And we have never seen a prime evil in basically the body of a god. So Mephisto is extremely powerful now, and they leave it on a cliffhanger. We don't finish that story beat whatsoever. We just see him rising up and it cuts the credits. So what the fuck is gonna happen now when they realize, hey, no one's playing this game anymore? 53% of the people who were playing this game last season are gone. Why should we make an expansion? Why should we continue to put money into this freaking product and make an expansion? If they knew that they were going to take a year and a half, which is a long fucking time, right? A year and a half before they gave us another expansion, they should have never ended this shit on a cliffhanger, man. Because I'm telling you right now, this is what's gonna happen. They're gonna decide to not release it, or they will release it, but when they do release it, they're not going to finish any of these story beats, and we're going to have another cliffhanger because they want that money, because they're greedy as fuck. And I understand it. I do. I understand why they're greedy. Everybody's greedy to some extent. Everybody has to be greedy, right? But I actually give a fuck about these stories, and I want to see the conclusion. And I will never be able to see that conclusion if they continuously drive their game into the dirt and continue to literally break their own game over and over. Who wants to play a game that is breaking and crashing and getting powers disabled and shit every single week? Every single week. That's where we are now. We're at every single week. They seem to find a way to break their game. And I know what they're doing. I guarantee. Hey, look, I'll make another prediction right now. I'm gonna make one more prediction right now, okay? The reason we have not seen Tyrael is because Tyrael is going to be his literal own expansion. That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for people to stop playing the game, to lose interest, and then they're gonna make an expansion and they're gonna have Tyrael in it. Unless people get fed up with this and leave before we ever get to that, in which case it'll just go unresolved and we will end up having to sit here and wait Shenmue amount of time before we actually get to see a conclusion of the story. Just don't do that. If you're gonna take a year and a half, just don't leave it on a cliffhanger. It's not really that hard. It really isn't. And another thing, the secret cow level. Why is there no hidden level in the D3 had like 85 secret levels? Do you realize that? Because there was a lot of times where you could just find these really weird random instances of secret levels in Diablo 3. Things that you are normally never going to run into. And they couldn't even do that. I want you to sit back for a minute and think about what I'm about to tell you. Diablo 4 is more broken and has less thoughtful content than Diablo 3. You know it's true. Ask yourself that question. Is that true? I think you know for a fact that that is true. Aren't we supposed to be trying to do better with our lives, right? Get better at shit. But instead of doing that, they're just settling to try to make money. But yeah, with the secret levels, I really think that that's what they were doing with the secret levels as well. Is they really wanted to wait. And they were thinking, oh man, you know what we're going to do, bro? We're going to wait until like expansion 4. And then we're going to have a whole expansion that's nothing but freaking cows, man. We're going to have like a cow continent. We're going to have a freaking cow opening act. You know, we're going to have act 48. And it's going to be nothing but cows and the cow king. And having to help the cow king, you know, protect his kingdom from all the rainbows and the lollipops and unicorns from Whimsyshire. And we're gonna have like Whimsyshire versus the secret cow level giant ass battles going on and shit. And we're gonna have to fight a freaking massive rainbow bubblegum fucking shrimp world boss when we get there. And dude, yeah, okay, fuck it. I guess that's it. I think you understand what I'm trying to say. Like, I just had to get on here, man. I cannot believe that they have done this. I cannot believe that they just continue to keep breaking shit. And it just gets worse and worse. So, I'll probably lose a couple subscribers because I'm over here bitching. Watch. But it's all good. Y'all have a good day. Take it easy. Enjoy your weekend late.